You're listening to the Sans Pants Network.
Hey everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Plumbing the Death Star. I'm Joel.
I'm Jackson.
And today we're joined by a very special guest and very special friend,
That's true.
James, aka Mr. Sunday Movies.
Wow, it's good to be a friend.
It's good to be
And a
friend.
guest.
And a guest.
Both is
It's
good.
better to be a friend than a guest.
I think so. 'Cause
We've had guests on that weren't friends.
Yeah.
I'll say it.
And friends that came on and then became guests by the time they left.
Exactly.
And Plumbing the Death Star is a comedy pop culture podcast that asks the important questions. Like, why'd they put Krang there? Is that even a good spot for it?
God, it's a good question though, isn't it?
It's a great question. It's a real thinker. But before we get to that,
Before we get to that, the reason that we're joined by our good friend and guest, James, is because all three of us are heading to the UK together.
that's true. We're gonna go and do a little frickin' tour, dude.
It'll be The Weekly Planet, which is James's podcast, live with Plumbing the Death Star, which is this podcast
you're watching right now and listening to. Yeah.
So it will be us two and James. Joel Zammit, unfortunately, will not make it, and Nick Machin. And Nick Mason, fortunately, won't be able to make it either. If this is the first time you're hearing about it, the dates are Friday the 13th, Plumbing the Death Star live from the London Podcast Festival, featuring James.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Thank God.
At time of recording, there's like 35 seats left, so hope you move quick.
Get in quick. Clock's
And
ticking.
then on Saturday the 14th at the London Podcast Festival, it's the Weekly Planet featuring me and Jackson. If you want to buy tickets to that, and that sounds exciting, too bad.
Yeah,
It's sold
nice
out.
try.
blew it.
But on Wednesday the 18th,
Yeah.
we'll be performing in Edinburgh. And on Saturday the 21st, we'll be performing in Manchester. With a show in Birmingham coming soon.
TBA.
Yeah, it'll be announced.
It's their fault. We want to.
Yeah, we want to.
We'd love to announce it.
Yeah.
But we got to figure some stuff out.
They got a
first.
guy that keeps not replying to emails and then replying and being real keen, but then he's not working the
We're
next day.
figuring it out.
Anyway, we'll
He's
get
more
to
of a
it.
guest than a friend.
Yeah,
would you say.
he's more than
Currently, but I think
yeah.
there's friend in the future. Yeah.
The show information, the live tour information will be in the show notes below. And yeah, hopefully we'll see you there. If you're not from the UK, please don't fly for this. Don't see us there. Don't put that much pressure on us.
We don't want that.
We don't want that.
don't want it.
We're coming to the UK.
Yeah,
the other
you
places,
don't need to go anywhere. Unless you live in the UK, then you could do a bit of travel.
Yeah, you can drive a little bit,
You
but
can
don't
drive
get on a
little bit to
plane for
London.
this.
Yeah, come on.
But speaking of places things are, Krang.
So Krang,
God.
From the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
all you need to know about Krang is that he's a little brain guy.
Yeah.
While I was taking a shit, I looked up Krang to try and learn a little bit more about him. And let me tell you, none of it is of any use for what we're talking about
and
today.
it's like which version? Because
Yeah,
some
exactly.
version, because in the original,
Yeah.
the cartoon, it's implied that he had a body and he needs a new body.
Yeah.
That so like he's part of. There was more to him.
He was like a lizard man, I think,
Yes.
initially, and then he lost his body through science, and somebody made him the android body that he lives in
or
now.
they like took it from him.
They took his body.
I've heard that in some versions. Yeah, like he's a criminal. He's like,
Yeah.
their Hitler. Like
Whoa!
in the 2003 version, I believe, and this might also be in the original comic, which gets very bizarre very
Yeah.
quickly. Yeah, he's like there's a bunch of Krangs.
Yeah.
And he's like the worst
He's
one.
the worst Krang.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm so glad we've got 4 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles to keep us safe from the worst Krang.
Yeah, exactly. It's funny, yeah. So when Krang gets this android body,
Yeah.
and this has always baffled me, he doesn't, and he is a head,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but he doesn't go where the head would go.
No.
No.
He goes right to the guts.
Yeah.
Now, when you punch someone, obviously in the head you can punch someone too.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
But the guts are right there.
yeah.
And also, if that robot body just stops, is Krang going to slop out onto the floor?
Almost certainly.
It just seems like a crazy place to put a Krang.
It's dangerous, like to hit someone in the head. There's bone.
Yeah,
So, like
exactly.
hitting someone in the stomach or in the Krang.
Yeah.
It's a safe. It's a
you
safe
kranged
punch.
me, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, right in the Krang.
Yeah, like you can't miss.
No.
Yeah.
You can't break your hand on like a forehead or whatever.
Exactly.
Even if you punch weird, you know, like a
Yeah.
like, yeah. You're gonna be all right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. It's also funny because so if I was fighting Krang,
Yeah.
and I would aim for the Krang.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Straight
like,
up.
It's not like he has any protection there. He's
No.
got a glass
No.
screen or something.
Exactly.
But like,
It-
if
it
I'm
should
fighting
be
a
like a microwave, right?
Yeah.
you press the button, the door opens, and you pull Krang out and dunk him or whatever. But yeah, if you're in a fight with a regular person, you're like,
Yeah.
head too tough, I'll go for the stomach anyway. With
Yeah.
this, you're like, head too tough, the stomach, like it's weaker than a regular stomach.
Also,
Yeah.
just like you got a bat. It's so easy to hit someone in the stomach with a bat.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Golf club.
Yeah.
Every weapon was made. It's a bigger target as well. Got a gun.
Yeah.
Shoot the Krang, baby.
You can like you said, like you can just pull him out though,
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
well. You could really like just
And
two
what can
hands
he do?
and-
What can he do? Well,
Also,
you've
the
got
machine
Krang.
shuts down then, right? Because you see, because he's got little like
He's got a doohickeys. He's
Yeah.
in it's an apparatus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a suit of a robot suit for him.
Yeah,
Basically.
exactly. What do you, okay, so
Get in the robot, Krang. Hey.
yeah, dude. Yeah,
Evangelion reference.
Krang Vangelion. Yeah,
Krang
yeah.
Vangelion. Neon Genesis. Krang Vangelion.
If you were Krang,
Yeah.
no, okay,
I'd have an awesome life.
obviously, but it's a bad place to go if you're Krang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he went there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's Krang getting out of it? Being stomach height.
well, Shredder. Because recently rewatching these with
Yeah.
my son, it's like, where do you start with Ninja Turtles? I guess this version.
Yeah.
I think we did the first like 4, and then like we're not going further than this. This show, it's not good. The first 4, pretty solid. Pretty solid. It's
Yeah.
closer to the comics or whatever. But he's like begging Shredder to build him a body.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Shredder makes in the cartoon at least, the initial Krang.
So
Suit,
it was
yeah.
Shredder's choice.
Yeah, which is like a wild thing to
Yeah.
request and that Shredder can do.
Yeah.
And then be like, yep.
here it is.
Yeah.
If you're Krang, you're like, hey man, awesome body, I appreciate it. Why am I in this? Why?
You want to be at head height just for eyeline
Yeah.
alone.
Yeah, when the Ninja Turtles talk to Krang, they're gonna look down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Krang can't even really look up because he's in.
Yeah.
It's
True.
truly a baffling place to put Krang.
Well, I think it's Shredder's plan to like, you don't want him too
Oh, you don't,
overpowered.
okay.
you
It's
know?
funny that putting mixing his head from head height to
Yeah.
into his stomach is the thing that keeps him regular powered. Like it's like the only thing stopping Krang from being OP is his ability to see.
If he's a couple of foot shorter,
Oh.
then we'll be safe. If he's a couple of feet taller, we're in trouble.
It's over. Yeah.
It's funny then, why do you think they gave the robot a head?
Yeah. Oh, unless is it meant to be like a disguise?
It's not very good.
Like, as in, like, does he wear like coats and shit?
No, I don't, it has probably happened.
Yeah.
But not really. Like, he's also like 9 feet tall.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
also like I guess you got Bebop and Rocksteady just rolling around,
That's
looking,
true, yeah.
yeah, exactly.
looking like two fucked up guys.
Also, that thing that he's in,
Yeah.
I know it would like stop if he's out of it, but it does have expression. Like when
What?
he's being attacked,
What the
and you see this is in the first episodes,
Yeah.
he grows really big, and the Ninja Turtles go inside. I don't know if you remember, and they have to knock out like the crystal that
Yeah.
made him grow. And as they're fighting him, he's like, ugh, he's all like,
So
hates
he
it.
can kind of feel pain.
yeah,
a
I
little
think
bit.
there's something going on. I don't know specifically
So
what.
his body is a robot body, but maybe can feel pain still,
Maybe.
which
Yeah.
defeats the whole purpose of a robot body. But I guess if he just wants a body,
Yeah.
wait, is his original body is his head stomach height?
Well,
maybe
he
it was
was
a
originally a lizard monster.
yeah, but was his head in?
I don't think it was. I think it was just at the face, right?
Yeah.
I think you can Google. Yeah, have a quick Google. You
get
can
out,
probably
get
say
out your
it.
little machine and look up where is Krang's real head.
Yeah. And while you're doing that, let me just say, because I was a kid in the 90s,
Yeah.
a million years ago, and the Krang toy you could get, it was the one where it was like a little kind of ostrich. Like it had 2 skinny little like legs. So I was like yay big, right?
Yeah.
You know, like the size of a Ninja Turtle figure, and the Krang was in the top. So you'd have to pay extra to get the Super Krang.
So you could only get Krang on like a little what?
Yeah, it's just basically like on a little platform with 2 metal
That's
ostrich
so
legs.
funny.
Yeah, because it was cheaper than
Yeah, of
you know,
course.
but the option was there to buy the big Krang, but that was a whole situation. That's like getting the Technodrome.
Yeah.
Really, like you have to be a rich kid.
Yeah.
I was never a Ninja Turtles kid. Would you want Krang?
Not really. I think you get Shredder, you get Bebop and Rocksteady.
Yeah.
Shredder could barely stand up. If you remember the toy, it's all hunched over and crooked. And
Yeah,
they don't really look like anything. Sort of like yeah. I think it was one of those things where they designed the toys and then.
Then figure it
And
out.
then we'll figure it out later in
Yeah,
the
yeah,
show.
yeah.
And then there was a million. And you couldn't get them. Oh, you're just looking at them
Are you looking
now,
up the
aren't you?
toys?
No, I'm looking at
Well,
the
that's
original.
what Krang used to look like.
Yeah.
Huge.
He's a huge lizard and he's been reduced to a brain in his stomach.
But then...
That's the thing I'm talking about.
Oh,
yeah.
so you could get like a little...
That's got a glass dome over the top of it.
Yeah, that's so much better.
Is he holding a cup?
Yeah, looks like it.
He's got a cup of coffee. Yeah, he does. It's like he's got a big thing of like fucking drinking chocolate or something. And then, yeah, there's Krang as we know him today.
Just above the dick.
Just right above the dick. The pubic hair would be just under his chin.
Yeah.
What? To what end? Why? I guess Shredder
Well, he
made...
loves it based on this photo, which is good for audio medium.
Yeah. Oh,
He's
Krang's
real
having a
happy.
great
Oh,
time.
yeah. He's
God,
great.
I mean, God bless Krang.
That'd make a
obviously.
great t-shirt, a Krang t-shirt.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
That's good stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think, is there
Fucking Krang. Let me just say that.
fucking Krang, dude?
Krang, what's your voice sound like?
I always imagine him.
Oh, yeah.
I'm Krang.
Yeah.
I love it in the stomach. I can see everyone else's stomach. That's where you're most vulnerable, so...
That's where I am, so I'm extra vulnerable.
What?
Don't stop me.
If I saw Krang in real life,
Yeah, sure.
I think I would be scared that Krang was going to get in my stomach. Do you think that's reasonable?
Yeah,
Like if I was up against Krang, I would be like protecting my
Oh,
belly.
you
'cause,
think
like,
that you were like, oh, that guy he's in was also a guy, and then
what-
he ate his stomach out, and then
now
became,
he lives in his
yeah.
stomach.
Good point. I mean, that could be true.
Like
Yeah.
I wouldn't know what I was seeing if I saw Krang. Or I'd be like, that man's brain fell out of his head
Yeah.
into his stomach. Can that happen?
Oh, yeah. You got to make sure you got to keep your brain switched. Like you got to keep your stomach full.
Yeah.
But then if you have any,
I imagine that it would happen if you like did a big jump.
oh,
You
yeah.
jump and it
yeah.
dislodges your brain, which goes down your neck and into your
Your
stomach.
stomach. Yeah.
And then it's also a guy.
And then it gets a face. Yeah.
yeah.
So sometimes they're also called Utroms.
Okay.
Yeah.
And in the 2003 cartoon, which was a little bit after my time, Shredder is the Krang.
What?
So the Shredder's in it for like, I can't remember how many episodes.
Yeah.
And there's a moment where he goes to fight Leonardo and Leonardo fucking beheads him. And you're like,
Whoa.
oh shit, this is like
Shredder's dead.
yeah, because
Yeah.
that's more based on like the original comics and it's kind of more, it's not super violent, but it's kind of more violent. And you think Shredder is dead, but he's a Krang. So the Shredder in that is not Shredder. He's that's what I love about the Ninja Turtles is they fuck around with the mythology so much.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it's so weird and there's so much there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
When he's a Krang, because I always assume that the Krangs are quite vulnerable.
Yeah.
Is he vulnerable as just a Krang?
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
you could punt him, you know?
That's what I keep thinking.
Yeah.
Or just squish him with my shoe.
Well, like I know this is a very big derailment, but it's not that big.
Yeah.
It's still about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which is rare for us. Jackson, you're taking off a jumper mid-episode.
hot.
Yeah, fair enough.
Maybe it's hot in here.
Yeah, we should have turned the aircon on before we started. Don't know why we didn't. We'll turn.
Seems like a waste of time.
Anyway, someone has asked if the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles have ever teamed up with Shredder or Krang.
Okay.
Oh.
To take on something worse.
Yeah.
And I think that this is funny. And
Okay.
this is huge props to Shredder for this. In the
Shout out.
In the
Shout out to Shredder
in
for
the
this
2012 series,
Yeah.
they did try to team up with Shredder once, but being as evil as he is, he took the opportunity to try and murder Splinter mid-battle.
God damn it. God damn it. He can't even help himself. That's the scorpion and the frog
Yeah.
situation,
Exactly.
isn't it?
We got to
Yeah.
take down this bigger evil, but that
right
old
here.
rat
God,
is
that-
right
yeah.
there.
I'm right here. Yeah.
Breaking Splinter's neck would feel pretty good, I reckon.
Oh, that'd be a crisp snap, wouldn't it?
Snap. You tell me I'm wrong.
No, you're not wrong, but it's just an
I will-
insane thing to say.
I think it's a normal thing
If
to
I
say.
met a rat the size of a man, I would snap his neck, dude.
It's not.
Straight up.
Yeah, that's how I'd greet him.
Okay.
Oh, it would feel so good. I think it's a normal thing to say and a normal thing to think.
Do you think are any other characters in the Ninja Turtles universe that would have as good necks to snap?
No, but Krang would be really good to squish.
I think
my
good,
God.
between
squish,
your
or
hands.
good to grab by one of his feelers and flap into a wall.
Oh,
Amazing.
yeah.
And Krang would also be really good to drop off a building.
Oh,
Yeah.
Splat, and hopefully you don't want him to explode in like viscera and gore. You just want him to get really flat.
oh yeah. If he's gonna burst out the sides, you just want it to like little slits. where it's just kind
it's
of.
crazy to imagine Krang landing and then all of his insides going out to his tube arms
Oh,
and then jetting out the
yes.
side. And then you just got empty Krang skin.
Oh.
Fill it with herbs and spices, make a Krang haggis. Oh my god.
Kragus.
Krang haggis.
I don't think I'd eat Krang. I would throw him off a building though. The rest of that sounds good.
Oh,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah, yeah.
I think we probably shouldn't eat Krang.
I'd
Yeah.
throw the good ones off a building. Like I don't,
turtles?
Like,
Yeah,
no, they're like the other
The good
Krangs.
Krang.
Oh, right,
Yeah,
the good
yeah,
Krangs,
yeah.
yeah.
I don't want them around. I'm with you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Another
Get
great-
out of our fucking dimension, man. In the 2012, that's a
Yeah.
good series. There's a Rise of the Ninja Turtles, and there was a movie,
Oh, yeah.
a Netflix movie. It's pretty cool. But that, the Krang in that arrive, and they're like a hive mind.
Whoa.
And they take over people's bodies or something in some vague way that I can't remember.
Yeah, that's fair.
But again, this is another level of Krang. But
Yeah.
they're not, I don't think they're doing big bodies and stuff in that. I think they're just big, gooey, like huge Krang.
Oh, really big? Like,
Yeah.
as in, is regular Krang in there?
I think they're just called the Krang.
Oh.
So they're all
Oh.
Krang. Yeah.
I can't remember how's Krang depicted in Mutant Mayhem. He's
I
in
don't
it.
think he
He's
turns
not in
up.
He's not in it.
Shredder's
not
not
in
in it until like the very, very
Yeah, I
end
remember
of
Shredder
post
being in it
credits,
right at
I
the
think
end.
if we
Yeah.
get a sequel, we might see Krang. I
Yeah.
hope we see Krang.
I'd
Well,
love
they
to see Krang.
went through all the other guys.
We're talking a lot of shit
Yeah.
about Krang, but I like Krang.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he's fun.
Hey-
I mean, just as a concept,
Yeah.
wild.
It's
Imagine.
awesome. What if
Yeah.
there was a brain in a guy's stomach?
Yeah.
Where would you put Krang?
I mean, in the head.
But I don't know if the head.
No,
has-
because
Do you think
the
there's a safer
head's
spot?
the head's still like a little bit too like because it's like you
'Cause
see
I-
someone from behind. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, there's the head.
Why
you can
doesn't he
sneak
want
up on
that,
it.
though, as well? Like, why doesn't he want that?
Why doesn't he want to be on the head?
Yeah.
What does he like looking at our bellies?
That's what I'm saying.
I think that's got to be some part of it.
Could be like you, an ass man. Anytime people turn around,
Yeah,
he's like,
that's true.
hell
Krang's
yeah.
at arse height.
Yeah.
He's also at fart height, which is the one downside of being at arse height.
Maybe not for Krang.
That would be a crazy revelation.
Yeah, Krang's a
Krang
fart guy.
he's a fart guy. He likes getting crop dusted. When somebody walks past us a party, opens up his little microwave,
Like,
collects some
today's
of
a
the
good
stink.
day to be Krang.
Yeah,
Krang.
today's
Yeah.
a good day to be Krang because somebody just farted on me, and you're like, you're the Hitler of your people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, Hitler
yeah, I
liked
mean-
fucked. I mean, he liked
Yeah.
a lot of fucked up stuff.
but he liked getting pissed on and stuff. So
Yeah.
you know,
That's what they say.
yeah.
maybe Krang and Hitler aren't so different.
I was never saying they weren't different. I'm saying he is Hitler. He's the Hitler of where he's from.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, well, in a lot of ways, that's true.
Weird dimension as well, because like there's Rockman and like children, like space children.
Huh.
I'm talking about the original show.
Yeah, yeah.
There's like the neutrinos, and they're like cool 50s kind of like
Oh.
kids in like flying 50 styles car. And then there's Krang.
Yeah.
And then there's like rock soldiers. Like I don't know
Weird.
what they're doing.
What is happening in Dimension X?
That's a great question.
I mean,
that's a great question.
Krang could probably follow the Daleks lead because Daleks are also just like this weird goo thing.
Yeah.
Oh, they're enclosed as well. They know what they're doing.
Yeah,
there's-
exactly. That's
I mean,
smart.
they got a fucked up outside design.
Well, yes, they do. Yeah, I don't know where you go,
what's-
salt and pepper shaker or whatever.
What's going on here?
Well, you only need one eye.
No, but it's got an eye and one plunger thing. Remember?
What's the plunger do?
Is a plunger and a
There's
gun?
a plunger and a ray gun. I don't
Yeah.
remember. I mean, the plunger was a thing in the 50s or
Yeah.
whatever.
They're
and
like,
then
we
they've-
better not change it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they've made it other things. They recently did a thing where David Tennant, Doctor Who, it's like a short where he crashes into the guy who's making the Daleks and he like puts the plunger on and goes, you should use the plunger. And that's like the in canon.
Yeah.
He's
reason
Doctor
for
Who
it.
put a plunger on him for as a good joke.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Okay.
Is this helpful?
I think the plunger has eaten people before.
Yeah, you're probably
Okay.
right.
But that's crazy because they got a gun that just ends a human life.
Yeah,
just
yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah, for sure. Why didn't Krang design something? I think the perfect place for Krang would be like a little tank.
Yeah.
Just like a little, like a remote control tank that he can just tool around and shoot the Ninja Turtles in the
It could be
gooch
called a
or whatever.
crank.
Yeah, Krang
Yes.
and his crank. Exactly. Shoot up, you know?
Yeah.
I
so
think-
you think no body?
Yeah.
Just like a vehicle.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well,
Like
that's-
Robot Wars.
Yeah,
But with,
Whoa!
with a
You-
Krang in it.
I think most of the Robot Wars robots would be the perfect house for Krang.
Just got a big hammer on it. or
Yeah, a
whatever.
big scoop. He drives onto Donatello and just flips it. Yeah.
Well, hey, Donatello lands on his shell. Might be able to get back up.
That might crack it. I think
Might
if that
crack
happens
it.
to a turtle, that's lights out.
yeah, I think that is lights out.
Yeah.
I think that has happened to them before because I think it's Donatello has a metal shell. I think his shell's
Oh,
fucked.
whoa.
He's all exposed or
There
whatever.
you go. So, I mean,
Yeah. Or he
Krang,
did it himself. He replaced it himself because he's weird. He's a strange guy.
Yeah.
well, yeah, I think Krang with a little flipper, flip them on their shell, crack the shell.
Yeah.
Just anything where he's not so exposed.
I
Yeah.
mean, to be fair, that robot's like super fucking dangerous
Yeah.
as well. It's got all sorts of weapons and can
that's
fly
true.
and could grow at one point. And, like his arm will turn into like a big like chain with a spiked ball on the end.
Yeah.
Okay.
It can-
Inspector Gadget style.
Yeah, I don't think, not that I can remember, no one's ever Donatello's never put the stick in and then just they've never been able to do that.
To
Yeah.
get close enough to Krang to get him out.
Yeah.
But it's still, well, maybe he's not so vulnerable in that.
I mean, I guess if the arms and legs of his robot can kind of transform into stuff, maybe being in the stomach is actually the safest spot because that's like the in-between of legs and arms.
Okay, yeah, I get you. Yeah.
But also, now that I think about it, and I said Inspector Gadget style, what if we put him in Inspector Gadget? I think that's probably safer
yeah.
for him.
Well, the problem with Inspector Gadget is that if you're fighting Inspector Gadget, he announces his moves before he does them.
Yeah, but then the
If
wrong
Inspector
thing
Gadget
happens.
says, go, go, gun, by the time he's saying gun,
Yeah.
oh, but then the wrong thing does happen. He
He'd say
shoots out
go-
a fork or whatever.
He'd say go Gadget I missed four gun? That's nothing.
Go, go, Gadget.
Four guns.
Is that him trying to get 4 guns?
I don't know what just happened to my brain there. Go Gadget, pistol or
Yeah.
rifle or gun.
Wait, so, but you're saying Krang goes in Inspector Gadget, but Inspector Gadget is just still himself?
Well, I
And
guess
Krang just lives in there, just observing the universe through the mind of a child, basically?
Hiding inside Inspector Gadget.
No, I
And
imagine.
Inspector Gadget knows something's wrong, but he can't quite put his finger on what. Is that what you're saying?
No, I was saying that Krang's just installed an Inspector Gadget because if gadgets are the thing keeping him safe,
Yeah.
want to go max gadgets.
Yeah, but the thing about Inspector Gadget is he's clumsy.
Yeah,
So
but
he
if-
goes, go, helicopter headcopter or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He crashes into a mountainside.
No,
Krang
that's sad.
flops out.
I'm
Loose Krang cannot survive.
yeah, so would he be encased in Inspector Gadget?
Yeah, I think so.
assume?
Yeah.
Where on Inspector Gadget's body?
I think the safest spot is not the head.
Okay.
But I don't think it's the stomach either.
On
I
the
think,
human body, where is the safest place?
I think like kind of in between the
Sternum,
collarbones.
sort of?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's a good spot.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
yeah.
where the heart is. It makes sense,
Yeah.
right? It's behind a...
Put him behind a rib cage.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Krang fully internal. Krang.
Yeah. And he can maybe have like you install like maybe 2 eye holes so he can see out, but
Oh, so not like a monitor, just 2 fleshy holes that Krang could peek out of.
And you say, Inspector Gadget, what is that? And he says, I don't know.
I honestly don't. I
I've
think-
been changing
I think it's
recently.
Yeah.
Parasite? I don't know.
but he's also like he's fine. Inspector Gadget.
Does he have guts, Inspector Gadget?
Well, that's the thing. I would be worried as a Krang that there'd be too much stuff in there, and
Oh,
like,
yeah, that's a good
the
point.
helicopter would fold up and like
and
kill
then crush
you
you.
or whatever.
Kind
Yeah.
of like a cat behind a recliner or
Him
whatever. How
pulling
you're going to be
his
really scared.
Helicopter back in it to just impale it.
Exactly. It's like
Inspector Gadget just shuts down. It's like, oh no.
it's like being inside Optimus Prime and he transforms and he just mushes you up. You know,
Exactly.
it's like that.
You get caught in a gear and that's it, lights out.
Yeah.
And then you throw up Krang later?
Would he?
I don't know.
I think he'd just ooze out.
yeah.
It's just the
Just
different.
seep out through his
Over
pores.
time, Inspector Gadget would smell more and more like rotten Krang. Yeah.
That would be bad to have a Krang crushed on the inside of your body and no way of getting him out.
It would be really bad, dude.
Pretty
I guess
ordinary.
You might go Inspector Gadget every gadget all at once to try and eject him from your
Oh,
body.
imagine the
might
smell.
Yeah.
No. And then, can you wash Inspector Gadget?
I think you could put him through a car wash.
Okay.
Just open up some hatches and put him
Put a hose in.
Yeah, put a hose in him.
Figure it
There's
out.
not. I don't think there's a lot of man in
Left.
him,
No.
even
Okay.
brain wise. Yeah.
Yeah, because he.
I mean, the helicopter comes out of his head.
Yeah, that's true.
Not a lot of him in there.
Best case scenario, he's got 2 halves of his brain that are separate.
But also, I mean, this is not the question, but if I was building Inspector Gadget,
Sure.
Yeah.
so I've got a dead cop.
You've got an exploded security
You've
guard.
got a dead cop.
Yeah,
I'm a
but
dead cop.
how'd you come into that, Jackson?
I was just trolling crime scenes
Oh, yeah. Okay.
for my home lab.
Does anybody want?
Anybody?
Anyone claiming this one?
Because I've got some experiments I've been meaning to
Yeah,
do.
I got a helicopter I need to put in a
Gadget-based
guy.
experiments. So I got a dead cop and a bunch of gadgets.
Yeah.
Now, say Inspector Gadget still has his brain. I don't have to keep that in the head.
No.
I could put that wherever in his body.
Yeah.
I could be like, I'm getting rid of this brain. I'm going to put it somewhere else so I have more room for helicopters.
Yeah.
And I don't know, lasers that come out of his eyes or
Jet
whatever.
skis and
Toothbrush out of his finger.
Yeah, exactly.
Oil slick.
Toothbrush out of his hang on. Toothbrushes out of his top teeth. So
to brush his bottom
to
teeth?
brush his bottom teeth.
Yeah,
and
he's
then
always
vice
gonna brush-
versa.
Okay, yeah.
So he just goes,
I'd like to see one come out of the eye.
Oh,
Yeah.
disgusting.
Yeah, that's good. Well, I
And
mean, it's-
tweezers to pluck his nose hairs,
Yeah,
which he
yeah.
is still growing.
It is
ugh.
pretty wild to think that they've installed a toothbrush.
Yeah.
Why not just install fake teeth that don't get plaque?
That's a good point.
That's true.
Maybe his teeth are real.
Maybe, yeah. Inspector Gadget has real teeth.
I guess they could have done the RoboCop reboot thing
Yeah.
where they're
Yeah, yeah.
like, hey, we've tried to say every part of you that was salvageable, we've put in the suit.
Yeah.
It's not much, but there's some there.
Is he from RoboCop? Do you think that was the idea?
I don't know if he was like a family-friendly attempt
Yeah.
at the RoboCop concept.
Inspector Gadget outdates RoboCop by a significant
So
margin.
RoboCop
he?
is
Oh,
cribbing
okay.
from Inspector Gadget.
Yeah, I
They
think
say, what if this happened, but it was really fucked up instead of goofy and
Was
fun?
Inspector Gadget like the early 80s then?
Inspector Gadget was even earlier than that.
Like the
Oh my
70s,
God.
maybe?
I hate that.
Da-da-da-da-da, Inspector Gadget.
We're about to find out when my phone loads.
Yeah.
Hope everyone at home is 1982.
Wow.
But is that
he
the
really
movie or the
does.
TV show?
That's a TV show.
The
Yeah,
movie's
okay.
from like 2000 maybe?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay,
It's
yeah.
Matthew Broderick.
Yeah,
and
of
then
course.
French Stewart.
Yeah, that's true. That's crazy.
Oh, this is an awesome question.
Yeah.
So the first Google result. People also ask, and all I've Googled is Inspector Gadget.
Yeah.
Okay.
People also ask, does Inspector Gadget have autism?
Yes.
I would imagine so.
What does it say?
What's the answer? Is there a canonical answer to that question in
Uh,
the text?
It's a link to a Reddit thread, and they are saying yes.
Okay.
I mean, everybody on Reddit
Yeah.
thinks everybody has autism.
I think it
That's just an awesome first, like, be like,
Yeah.
hey, you're
that
Googling.
enough people are curious about Inspector Gadget that it's the first result.
Yeah, where is he on the spectrum?
I think Inspector Gadget doesn't have a traditional brain. I think you can't even.
Yeah, he's a
ask the-
robot.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't even ask the question about him, you know? It doesn't
Yeah.
even make sense.
He's basically C-3PO.
Yeah, does C-3PO have autism?
Maybe,
Yes.
actually, yeah.
Yes,
You might
he
be right
does,
on that. You might be
obviously.
right on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Krang in a Inspector Gadget body, but when we were saying Krang inside, I can't stop imagining him just in a human being.
Yeah.
Like loose inside your guts.
Loose.
Yeah, dude.
You should never have anything loose inside
Loose
your stomach.
Krang crawling around my body, ratatouing me from my inside.
Ratatouille you from the inside.
Yeah. A Krang there kind of behind my rib cage.
Here's what will happen.
Yeah.
The operation, it's a great success.
Yes.
You get up,
Great
you're
work.
walking around for a bit,
Wait,
and then
are
all
you
of a
doing it? Because you were stealing cops before.
It's another experiment.
Okay, this is separate.
I have many Krangs and many great plans. Yeah.
like the experiment's a success. You're going for a walk after surgery, and then all of a sudden you feel yourself choking as Krang's holding your windpipe from the inside.
Let go. We can work together, Krang. Doesn't it seem like, well, you know, he can be in my human body. The Ninja Turtles aren't expecting me.
Yeah.
I say, Donatello, can I get your autograph? And then Krang, whoa, out of my mouth.
So to describe that sound for anyone listening in the traditional podcast format of audio only,
Yeah.
Jackson role played very quickly there, him shaking Donatello's hand and then vomiting Krang onto him.
Yeah, that's the plan. Ideally.
What can Krang do?
Well, no, ideally, I
Yeah.
say, hey, Donatello, I've always been curious. This is maybe a personal question. Can we roleplay this?
I know where this is going. Hello, I'm Donatello.
Hey, Donatello, big fan.
Hey, great to meet you. You're not freaked out by the fact I'm a big turtle or whatever?
No, I love it. It's actually,
That's
speaking of
awesome.
the fact that you're a big turtle,
Yeah.
I've always been curious about your mouth.
Are you trying to
I see where
kiss me?
this is going.
No. I just would like to see down your throat if you wouldn't
What
mind.
weapon does Donatello use,
A
James?
staff.
Yeah, at this point, I'm hitting
I'm
you over the
getting
head.
bonked.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got to try one of the other turtles, I guess. I got to go through the turtles.
You get Michelangelo, I reckon.
Yeah, I go, hey, man, go, and he just does it.
And then you throw up Krang.
And Krang goes in Donatello.
Then you're controlling a turtle.
Exactly, my job's done.
There's plenty of room in that shell.
Yeah,
Yeah.
oh, there's heaps of room in a turtle.
Yeah.
Also, was Krang controlling you, or were you guys just working together?
Uh,
Because if Krang's not
Were
controlling
you
you,
looking to evict Krang, I think.
I don't know I think I was trying to get the Ninja Turtles.
because if he goes into a Ninja Turtle's mouth in the same way that he was living in you, but Krang wasn't controlling you, then he's not controlling the Ninja Turtle. The Ninja Turtle will be just like hits themselves, like just clears their chest, basically.
Yeah, I think the problem as well is that I was imagining Krang like in my guts.
Yeah.
But where I've put him in Donatello is in his stomach. So Krang just gets eaten. Krang cannot survive stomach acid.
Yeah, that's a sad day to be Krang.
I mean, he is an internal organ man. Maybe he could. But stomach acid is different. You wouldn't put stomach acid on a brain.
No,
Would you?
a brain is not ready for that.
That's
Yeah.
crazy to picture. A full brain in your stomach being digested? Wow. Yeah.
Well, yeah, apparently stomach acid really, like, is if you're gonna get shot, getting
Yeah.
shot in the stomach, real big no because then your stomach acid leaks.
Oh, I
into
thought you were going
the
to be
wound.
like, no, it absorbs the bullet. It destroys the bullet. I thought you were
No. It's a big no because the bullet goes through and then the stomach acid comes out.
Oh, okay,
goes
yeah.
everywhere else in
Into
your
the
body.
wound, yeah.
Okay, so maybe we can't have Krang.
That's a good
in
way to
ring.
get rid of a Krang if you've got one, I guess.
Yeah, digest it.
Yeah, like just puncture your stomach
Yeah.
and just like.
Oh yeah, that's true. Let the
hope it-
stomach acid do its job.
Yeah.
Krang flees up into your chest, up into your lungs.
And then you slowly bleed out and die.
Yeah, but you got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's scared.
Hey, you're going down with the ship, idiot.
Well, that's the thing. If you have a Krang,
Yeah.
it's probably lights out for you anyway.
Yeah.
You might as well die somewhere and trap Krang in your body.
Yeah, exactly.
Or in the wilderness, go into the desert and die. Krang will dry out, dude. He'll be like a raisin.
Big time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I think if Krang was in like a desert, that would be like a vulture would get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Krang looks like awful, sort of. So I think a vulture would be,
Be right on.
But like,
it.
ooh, guts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's kind of what I'm thinking.
It is crazy he's in the guts but looks like guts.
Yes, I think that is crazy.
Me too.
But it is, we were saying like not in the head, right?
Yeah.
And I get like it shouldn't be like the Krang stomach window, but on a head. But if Krang was in the skull of his android,
Yeah.
looking at the android's eyes,
That's what I'm saying.
I don't,
Yeah, that was what I
don't
was
see
thinking.
what would be so bad about that.
No.
And
you're-
then no one
No,
would-
just no.
No, you're right, is what I was saying. But
Oh,
no, you fucking idiot. Of course that would be bad.
Well, because then he could look the Ninja Turtles in the eyes while he killed them. Or
Oh yeah,
whatever.
that's cool. He would like that actually.
You know?
Yeah.
But even like, it is strange not to put it in
Yeah.
in the head. But also, like, we know like Shredder's got a cool helmet.
Yeah.
Just give him one of those.
Yeah, exactly.
That's true. It wouldn't even need to be. It could. Yeah, it wouldn't need to be a robot or
No.
anything. It would
No.
Just, yeah. Just a helmet, a literal helmet
Yeah,
with,
just
a,
give him-
with a little eye hole.
Yeah, just literally give him Shredder. Make your helmet a second time.
Yeah.
Give it to Krang. Krang painted another color
Yeah.
so that.
Oh yeah, you don't want them the same.
Yeah.
Do you?
Are you imagining Krang just hangs out in a helmet?
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess yeah. He
Is
needs
he
to.
on a body or is he loose?
I feel like you'd just be in a bucket.
Yeah.
Krang in a bucket but wearing a helmet.
Krang in a bucket is perfect.
Hard to hurt,
Yeah.
but hard for him to hurt anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
That's probably best.
yeah, it's kind of the ideal
Because
situation.
do we want him gone? Like realistically?
Yeah.
Do we want him dead?
Do we? Well, we want to throw him off stuff.
Yeah,
and
that's
put him in a
true.
washing machine or whatever.
Yeah, but like.
Would Krang thrive in the sea? He seems like he would.
He's
Salt
kind of like
water.
a fish in a
Can
way.
he swim?
I don't
Those-
know. Is he just crab-like enough? I'm like, should be in the ocean.
Yeah.
He looks like he should be in the ocean or the sewer. Like you should peel him off something, I think. Yeah.
Well, the turtles are already in the sewer.
Well, that's true. Is there another safe place in the human body for Krang?
I mean, the butt, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
We were talking about it earlier.
The butt.
But is that
Well, then he gets sat on all
that
the
he does
time.
get exactly?
Yeah.
Yeah. You need something that stands.
But are you imagining sort of like in the pelvis? That's a strong place.
It's a strong spot. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but then is that too close to the stomach? Are we just?
Well,
arrived
we've
at the
moved
same
it lower,
problem?
but then he can get, if the Ninja Turtles try and knee the android in the balls,
yeah,
they're
yeah.
kneeing Krang in the head.
Yeah. What about if you had one Krang foot?
Whoa, Krang foot!
Krang foot. That's good. And then he can kick with that foot, and Krang sees the Ninja Turtle's head coming at like max speed toward him. That's good. And if we want to get Krang down in Ninja Turtle's mouth again,
Might be the way to do it. Yeah.
when the android kicks Donatello in the head, Krang,
Why do you think that Krang wants to go inside a Ninja Turtle?
he needs to be in. You can cause havoc if you're a loose Krang in a digestive system.
Yeah.
Well, I guess like the moment he gets swallowed, you just go arms out and just try and wreck as much
or
stuff as
if
possible.
you're in the stomach, hey,
Does he want to capture the Ninja Turtles or kill them?
God, I feel like it's an experimental thing, right? They want to run experiments. Oh no, they want to
De-turtle them?
Yeah, they want to turn them back into turtles.
Oh, he wants
like
to get
constantly. Yeah.
rid of the
Why?
ooze.
I don't know, man. It's
Does he want the? Is it to like reverse engineer the ooze?
No, they can do that. Like they're always mutagening up something. I mean, you see
Yeah.
as the series go on, like they've got great ideas up top, like Bebop and Rocksteady and Ninja Turtles themselves. The idea of a Krang.
Yeah.
And it's like I don't know, a fucking Stingray, man. Like
Yeah.
they just
Yeah,
they run out of stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah, they can do it. They can definitely do it.
So like the villains get access to mutagen pretty much straight away.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a Dimension X something.
No, okay.
I believe.
It's also we've discussed this not on a Ninja Turtles episode, but on a Daredevil episode. It's crazy that that's the same thing that made Daredevil
Oh, yeah.
blind.
Yeah,
Absolutely wild.
absolutely.
It
And
Yeah.
got him in the eyes and then fell into the drain, got the turtles.
I think it's crazy that the thing
What a
that
shot.
made the yeah. If that guy driving the truck knew what he
Oh
did,
my god! Yeah, I mean, he would get royalties for one. That would be.
you would think so.
He'd never have
Do you
to
think
drive a
Daredevil
truck
ever
ever
tracked
again.
him down and thanked him?
I think the turtles are probably the ones that are more thankful.
Yeah,
But I mean,
Sentience
he's
and-
got powers like Daredevil. He got powers out of
I
it.
think didn't the goo just make it blind?
Yeah, blinded. Didn't he get powers?
He's got an echo kind of. Well, it depends on the version, but he's got like an echo kind of. He hears as well as he can see, but there's also versions where like he trained himself to do that, and
Yeah.
anybody can do
Okay.
it.
I thought he was like Batman and just trained himself.
I thought the
He
ooze
doesn't
did
have
it.
super strength or
No.
anything.
Yeah,
like that.
okay.
Yeah.
My bad. Then fair enough. He wouldn't thank the man who blinded him. That would be a crazy day at the truck depot. Hey, man.
I can't see anymore. Thank
Yeah.
you.
I don't know if you remember me, but
Yeah.
30 years ago,
Daredevil
you
was
were,
just like talking to a wall. Hey man,
you were driving
I don't
your
know
truck.
if you.
A bit of ooze hit me in the eye, and I've been blind ever since. I just wanted to shake your hand.
Instead of honing in his echolocating skills, he spent the entire time just trying to track down this man.
yeah, to thank him.
Yeah. So if I was Daredevil, I probably wouldn't
fair
thank
enough.
the person that blinded me, but if I was a turtle that got turned into a guy, yeah, probably.
I think it's crazy thinking about it now that the ooze that got into Daredevil's eyes didn't make his eyes guys.
His eyes, guys.
Well, that's what it did to the turtle.
That's a great point.
His eyes just grow and become guys.
Yeah.
Like little man.
That's awesome.
And what's crazy,
Now there's a what if for you, Marvel.
the craziest thing about your eyes becoming little man is you wouldn't know.
you
Because
wouldn't
you
know.
would be blinded by
Oh
them
yeah, because your
becoming
eyes would
little
detach.
man. They would pop off. You wouldn't know what was happening. 'cause
Oh, they'd leap out of
they
your
would just
skull and
expand
run
in
away.
your skull, leap off, blinding you. You would hear footsteps running away.
And you'd be like, what the
You'd be
fuck?
like, surely that's not my eyes who have become men.
That would be the last thing. You probably wouldn't even say that.
I mean, you would just think I have been blinded.
Yeah.
There's people who are running away instead of helping.
I don't know. I think I would hear two sets of footsteps running away. My God, my eyes have become men.
Eyes became men. Teenage Mutant Ninja Eyes.
God, I hate that. They have like a tail, like the optic nerve.
That's so gross.
The whole thing is an eye texture.
Yes,
Yeah.
gooey.
Yeah.
Gooey.
Making little
Yeah.
Yeah.
noises as they run. Disgusting.
Isn't part of the eye a big hole?
Yeah.
So
Yes,
you
it
go to
is,
punch
yeah.
him and your whole arm goes in. You're like, ah.
Yeah.
But they will be weak. A turtle has a shell. That's like armor. An eye got no
That's
protection.
the vulnerability of an eye,
Exactly.
which I think speaks to Krang as well. Like they're
Yeah.
going back to that, having an
Absolutely.
exposed.
He's completely exposed. I kind of get the sense that if you touch Krang anywhere, it's painful for him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of like a human brain, how
Yeah.
it's like kind of jelly.
Absolutely.
Do you think he feels though? Because
I
like your brain doesn't have.
That's a
nerve
good point.
endings.
Yeah, you can just put your hand in your own brain. You die, but it doesn't hurt.
You can do it though. You can do it.
I can imagine getting like open brain surgery and you just keep with your
What's
hands
this?
in the doctor
Yeah,
keeps-
slapping you away.
What are you trying to do? Nothing.
Nothing,
Yeah.
dude. Hey, what's
Stop
that
trying to
over
make
there?
yourself a Krang. It's not gonna work. You're gonna die, idiot.
Are you trying to pull your brain out? No.
I would never do that.
I got your blood. Pull your brain out, die, frozen like that. The doctor turns around, you got your brain in your hand. God damn it.
Why do they keep trying to do
Why
this?
do they keep doing this?
We're gonna ban Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's bad for the.
It's making
Oh,
me
there
feel-
was all that panic when I was a kid about kids are going to go into the sewers or karate kick each other in class. Like there was a lot. Well, they changed it in the UK to hero turtles.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
like,
that's
ninjas
right.
illegal.
They're
and
scared
whatever.
of ninjutsu.
Yeah.
It's funny how every single thing that became popular when we were kids. I'm assuming it still happens now, where they're just
Yeah.
like, "Well, we got to ban that from
Yeah,
schools."
absolutely. And it's interesting because if you watch the evolution, this is not related, the evolution of like fights on like YouTube or like
Yeah.
Reddit
Yeah.
fight threads, like it's just become people just fucking MMAing each other in the street. Just like extreme maneuvers.
Yeah.
Because it used to be like, it was like a punching and
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah.
because that was how people do it in movies. And now
Absolutely.
it's just people just fucking like just dropping each other in the worst ways you've ever seen.
Yeah, like I remember if you'd see a fight when I was a kid, it would be two guys that would get up very close, do a kind of awkward hug,
Yeah,
and
just
then
like grabbing each
kinda
other's
grab
shirts,
each other, and there was no.
And
action.
maybe one would
might be a
disconnect
punch.
and then throw one punch,
Yeah.
and then
But it would be sloppy, and then everyone would be like, "Whoa!" Anyway, and then that would be kind of it.
Yeah.
it's
When
funny
now
that we
it's
were
people
roundhouse
are-
kicking each other.
no, it's way more hectic than that. It's almost like wrestling.
What the hell?
Like
People
just like
getting chairs?
arguing, and then one guy picked the other guy up by his head.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, and a lot of
That's
people
scary.
like it's. I mean, it's a terrible idea to fight anybody in the
Yeah.
street, but like now, especially, you don't know who's watching Joe Rogan.
Yeah,
Like, there's a lot
yeah.
of these dudes out there, man, and they only need to know a little bit of that
Yeah.
to
Yeah,
like
exactly.
completely fuck up a normal person.
Yeah. If you don't know that and
Yeah.
you go up against them, you are in trouble.
Which is why, dear listeners, it's very important to check out the Joe Rogan Experience.
That's right.
Yeah.
Coming to the UK. Right?
It's us three and Joe Rogan.
What a combo! What do you think about Krang, Joe Rogan?
He would have opinions.
I think
on
he would have
Krang.
opinions on Krang.
I reckon
Yeah.
he'd be excited to talk. If someone rolled into the Joe Rogan Experience
Yeah.
and was like,
First, you would have to explain Krang.
no, I reckon he would be a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles guy already.
Well, I can see that, but I
He's
can
a
also.
Doom guy or a Quake
Oh,
guy.
yeah,
Or is
yeah,
that-
that's
he might
true.
be. And he is a comic guy. Well, he
Well,
was.
maybe he already knows Krang.
yeah.
I think he'd be excited to learn more, though.
Yeah.
I think he's got the vibes of.
He fucking looks like a Krang.
He
He does look like a Krang.
What if you got like Ninja Turtle ooze on a Krang? It would turn into Joe
Joe
Rogan.
Rogan. Start
Just
a podcast.
Yeah, just an oily, sweaty, pulsing man.
Just a guy smoking a joint whilst recording a podcast.
Big cigar.
And then people are like, He's like, yeah, that is interesting.
I feel like it's another way. If you get a Krang in you, you smoke a big stogie.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Or you make Krang smoke a big stogie. Hey, has
It's-
Krang got guts? He's got mouth.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
really
he's got guts.
It's really
What
easy
the
to
hell?
imagine Krang smoking a cigarette, so I think he'd be fine.
Yeah, and
That
doing
is
little,
easy to imagine.
Yeah.
with his little gross arm,
Yeah.
like pulling out and having a puff, and like is it butting it out too?
Yeah.
it's very easy.
So
to
the fact
picture.
that it's very easy for me to picture it means
Yeah.
that it mustn't be bad for him.
I can also easily imagine Krang in a trucker cap too.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
I can imagine Krang eating a cigarette.
Eating a
Like a
cigarette.
Yeah.
lit cigarette. Like he's smoking
Yeah.
it and then he just pops it in.
And you're
Yeah.
like, is that like a Krang thing? Does he
Yeah.
not know how to smoke a cigarette?
Yeah.
Has he messed it up somehow? Yeah.
Krang's he's an interesting guy.
He's a complicated guy, dude.
I like him.
yeah, and I like him too, but I still would like to see what would happen if I dropped him off the 40th
Yeah,
story. of the
Yeah, I
building.
think there's still so much stuff you could do to Krang.
Yeah.
I think he's perfectly designed for that. Like, you know that thing they do, it's like a viral thing where you have like a tortilla and you slap somebody in the
yeah.
face with it, but they got a mouthful of water. Doing that with Krang. I think also if you threw Krang at a wall, he'd do that thing where he'd like flop down a bit like a
Oh, one of those
Called-
rubber like
Yeah.
Spider-Man
Plop,
kind
plop.
of.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You could really wreck Krang's
Yeah.
day.
Well, I guess like we all want to wreck Krang a little bit just
Yeah.
because it looks, even just like picking him up and just stretching him.
He's got real like
That's
stretch
awesome.
Armstrong.
That's
Like
awesome.
you take one bit of Krang,
Yeah.
and I'll walk, and we'll see how much we can
Yeah,
stretch
and
him.
he mightn't even stretch that much. He might just tear down the middle, but I would still be
Yeah,
satisfied.
he's got
What?
no bones, doesn't
Yeah.
he? Is that right? You reckon?
Yeah.
It would fuck me up to find out Krang had a skeleton.
Whoa, what shape would that be?
That's what I mean. I cannot picture Krang's skeleton. A skull.
Inside a brain?
Well, he's got no neck.
Yeah.
So it'd just be a skull with like the pincer.
What
things,
animal
right?
has no neck? Frog?
crab?
Krang?
Crab's got an exoskeleton, though. What skeleton animal has no neck?
I don't know if a
Frog?
frog. I think a frog has a neck.
No.
Depend on the frog. It's probably, you know.
It's still. I think it still has
Like
a neck.
a bit of a neck.
It's like when you see like a fat cat or whatever. It's still got a neck. It's just like
Yeah.
hiding it.
I just think a frog is.
Or an awesomely shaped guy.
Yeah, that's true.
Some
that's
guys
true.
out there that look like they got no neck, but they got a little
They
bit
get
of
a
neck.
bit
it's
of
still
neck.
in there.
Let's get a bit
Yeah.
of
It's
neck.
got to dig.
Okay, let's each pick a place that we're gonna have Krang.
We'll
on the
finalize
two-
this
yeah.
once and for all.
Where's
if
the-
not the stomach, where?
If not the stomach, yeah. Where are you putting Krang? I'm gonna say neck.
Neck.
Yeah,
You're gonna
Why?
have to show you're working there.
because.
You
Because
just said it. You didn't know. You've got. You're
No.
spinning your wheels.
no, I'm not. Cause then he's kind of close to the head,
Yeah. Okay.
which is useful. He's kind of at eye height.
Yep. You still want the expression of the robot? Is that
Yes,
as well?
yeah,
You wanna
yeah.
keep
Still with the
that?
robot head.
Yeah.
But Krang's in here.
Yeah.
Krang can disguise himself.
Oh, he put a scarf on. and-
Yeah, exactly. Scarf or, well, I guess just a scarf, bandana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure. Yeah.
He'll have the vibe of if he wants to smoke cigarettes, like those people that have
Yeah.
the hole in their neck because
Oh,
they shouldn't be smoking
yeah.
cigarettes, but smoking cigarettes through that hole.
He can. because the head won't be attached to Krang, the Ninja Turtles might just think it's a guy, and they punch the head, and the head falls off, and they think they've defeated him. Krang lives another day.
They think they're going to jail for murdering a man.
Exactly. They think, wow, I am stronger than I thought. I could just punch this man's head off.
I like so that it's just a head just propped on top of Krang. Like it's not attached.
I guess
to the rest
Krang has
of
to
the
be
body.
holding it with his little disgusting hands, holding it in place. So the guy kind of walks around like that with a very floppy head. But then when he gets punched in the head falls off. Krang lives another day.
Yeah.
He's close enough that if he's talking to someone, if somebody's talking to the robot head, Krang is there if he needs to leap across and attack.
Yeah, okay, that's good.
To get down the mouth.
It's also easy to read expressions on people's faces.
Exactly.
Because Krang has autism, maybe?
Yeah.
Is that a thing that we
It's
decided?
unclear at the end of his who does and doesn't have autism. I think as well, maybe, I said neck, but maybe if we could make a body where the Krang could go anywhere.
Okay, so the hollow body theory.
Yeah.
That's a very good idea, actually.
yeah.
And maybe, I don't know if the whole body should be clear, like it's made of clear pipes.
Well, if you get like an Iron Man suit,
Yeah.
those are
Yeah.
mostly hollow. You can scutter about.
Yeah,
in
that's
there.
fair.
Yeah, kind of, I guess, like Krang is in like a big mech.
Yeah.
And he can just go to any part of the body.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe that would be good for
So
Krang.
an Iron Man suit that's clear. Do you want it clear or not clear?
I
you
like
wanna
the idea
see?
of it clear because I like being able to see what Krang's doing.
Yeah.
Him like slopping around on the inside.
Like a shit in a U-bag.
Just like a shit in the U-bend.
Flushing Krang!
Oh,
baby.
Incredible.
That's
you
really
flush
good.
Krang, then you pull a prank on the plumber when Krang blocks your plumber. You say, I don't know, man.
I don't know what I ate, but something's gone wrong.
And then he finds a dead Krang down there.
Oh, dead. I
Yeah.
like to think he would be alive.
Yeah, he's
wow.
just
He
like
gives you a real fright.
screaming.
Yeah.
I don't know what I
I don't know, man. It's not a Krang, though. I'm pretty
It's
sure
just a
not.
big shit.
It wasn't a Krang. I think it's just a shit down
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, dude, I took a crazy. You're a plumber, you get it. Sometimes you take big shits.
It's funny as all of you think Krang's going to be alive, and then he's dead, and the plumber just crouched down at your pipes, turns around and holds up the dead Krang.
I'm so sorry. Was this yours?
No.
Yeah, no, man.
I don't know whose that
Did
is.
you eat this man?
No, I thought he was going to jump out at you. I'm very embarrassed right now.
Kill this man?
It's not a man, it's a Krang.
It was never a man.
Yeah.
I think one place we haven't. So you're going the
I'm
whole.
going Iron Man, clear Iron Man suit so I can see Krang slop around in there like a shit in a U-bag.
I'm gonna go. So this is like kind of cliche.
Yeah.
But I like a novelty hat. But instead of a
okay.
camera, has a Krang.
That's really good. Because then it could just look like you're wearing a Krang hat. Like a hat branded with Krang.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
he's real.
But also, I just feel like you can take off a hat, so Krang could probably take himself off for a fight.
Yeah. But,
Or hide.
but if Krang controls the body, does that mean he takes the
take
hat
the
off?
hat off and
freezes
the robot just stops. Turtles come up, just wail on the hat.
That's a funny place for Krang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This isn't safe, but I like the idea of the robot just carrying Krang under one
Oh,
arm.
loose. Like
Yeah.
like a football.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
football
American
or whatever,
football style.
You know, and like he can still talk to the robot and
Yeah.
control it. He doesn't have direct access necessarily. Might put him up on a shelf if the robot's in a fight.
Oh, so the robot can still move without Krang. I think that's necessary.
But Krang can be like, hey, do this.
That's
Yeah.
funny if you put Krang in the shelf and then he watches as the robot's destroyed. By the
exactly.
Ninja. Then he's got to flop through the dust to get away. Fuck. That's great. It is also holding him American football style.
I can imagine the robot literally running like an American footballer,
Yeah.
like going for a touchdown, one arm out.
Exactly.
And then
You could
slamming Krang into the ground.
Could throw Krang,
Yes.
quarterback
he
style.
might bounce too. You don't
Yeah.
know. Yeah.
Just hope that, yeah. And then, like, that's a bit of fun for the Turtles as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Because, like, they see that running it and they're like, oh, sweet, we get to play a bit of football.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a bit of Krang ball.
We would have loved to play football, but we're fucked up teens, so we can't go to normal school.
Born fucked up turtle guys.
Yeah, and like our dad, who's a rat, which is also fucked up. He's
Yeah.
like, the outside world hates you, so we're not allowed to play fucking football.
Yeah.
I'm just so glad Krang wants to play football with us. Then they get Krang and they can boot Krang.
Yeah. I think it's sad that no toy company's ever released a Krang like this. You could have
detachable
you
Krang?
could have a detachable Krang
Absolutely.
toy.
Build
that
your own Krang.
That you could do all the things we want to do with Krang
Yeah.
with.
Yeah.
The moment somebody makes that Krang, there's $1 million in the bank.
Completely agree.
I'm
you could take
buying
an
a
original
Krang.
one and like fill it in.
Yeah.
Fill in the Krang hole and then.
Oh, that's good.
That's a custom job, obviously.
Another
Yeah.
great Krang merchandise that I would buy,
Yeah.
Krang bum bag. Looks like
Oh,
Krang.
that's good. Yeah, yeah.
But it's a bum bag.
Yeah, that is
and
good.
it's like wet and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you put your hand in it, it's disgusting.
And Krang's in there for real.
Oh no.
Oh my God, zip it up.
I hate that guy.
Who do I tell?
You don't tell anyone.
Where do I, yeah, exactly.
Keep
I
that
keep that a
secret,
secret
yeah.
for the rest of my
Mumbling
life.
from the back. I'll get the turtles.
I don't. Did I?
Whose voice was that? Not Krang's.
I'll get the turtles.
I'll kill the
That
turtles.
sounds like it could be Krang.
Yeah, I guess if he's in a bag, he's going to sound a bit different.
Do you reckon we've got the world record for the most times anyone said Krang in a podcast?
Absolutely. 100%.
I think we have. I think
Yeah,
this is
there's
a
no way
historic
that-
episode.
Yeah.
Do you know sometimes Krang spelt with a double A?
Krang.
Krang.
Yeah, that's just something to think about.
Yeah, it is something
And
to
something
think
that the
about.
listeners can take home with them
Yeah.
because we've nailed it. The best places to keep Krang are either under your arm, in a hat, or in a hollow Iron Man body.
That's right.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Guts doesn't make sense.
It's
Why is he
stupid.
there?
It's a bad place for Krang.
Yeah, well, on that note, I've been Joel.
I've been Jackson.
I've been James.
And if you liked this,
A's.
James.
Oh, James.
And if you liked this and you live in the UK and you're like, man, I would really like this even more if I could see them and be like,
Reach out to them from below the stage.
yeah, below the
Maybe
stage.
Wow. Maybe you've got Krang ideas.
Yeah,
you just-
exactly.
You can come to one of our many live podcasts in the UK, which are happening in September.
Mm-hmm.
The information was at the start of the episode, so just rewind it or just look at the show notes.
Yeah, they're just beneath this episode.
That's right.
And yeah, come see us. All three of us will be on stage multiple times. When you come to a show, we'll be on stage the whole time, really.
Yeah, that's true.
We might take a little
Probably,
break
right?
to get a drink or take a piss or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
but
yeah.
Anyway, come to the shows. You can see us in person.
Oh, if we leave the stage, you get your money back.
Yeah.
If any of us leave. No. Saying it now.
Oh, you heard it here first.
And if you want to claim any refunds, just hit up James directly. James, where can we find you?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about
At
it.
Mr. Sunday Movies. Or you can email
platforms,
theweeklyplanet@gmail.com.
Yeah.
You can, yeah.
Thank you so much, listeners, and let us know where would you keep your Krang?
Where are you putting Krang, dude? And what are you getting if you get a Krang in your body?
Oh,
Yeah.
running Krang over with a steamroller?
Oh, flat Krang!
Oh, flang.
Lift a lawnmower up and just like put it on him.
Oh, shredded Krang!
Yeah, Shrang.
Krang, dude.
Anyway, thank you so much. Sorry that we love to hurt you, Krang.
Yeah, Krang. Yeah,
Sorry, Krang.
The lights turned
The
off.
light's red. Looks red. But the audio isn't recording. Or it is?
No, it is recording.
Yeah, it's just not.
Oh, you don't need to actually. You don't put you don't have to hit the red button.
No, he'll hit the red button.
I'll hit the
now.
red button. You watch.
Oh.
That's the backup. Because then we get that on the Roadcaster.
Okay, that makes sense.
That it saved the.
Do you do a lot of shuffling in and out?
Yes.
Usually it's not too bad because Jackson isn't the one usually touching stuff, and he's always sitting in that corner.
Oh, okay.
But me and Joel, yes, we're shuffling all the time.
Okay.
Stealing a signature bit from your show and putting it in our show.
I was gonna.
We look like we're in shot.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because you have to. Is James? Or does he need to move across a bit more?
I can't. Oh.
Yeah, move a little
can move
closer to me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I want to do that every time I'm sitting there too. Like swing around to the right,
Yeah,
but it's
yeah.
out of shot.
Escape.
Yeah, get out of the room.
I think James is in shot now. It is.
What are you looking at? Like the
I'm
reflection?
looking literally in the reflection of the window.
Oh, you are. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But my eyes are terrible, so it's hard.
It looks outside. Like you look at it, it looks like a grass kind of.
Yeah.
That's true.
I don't know.
All right.
All right.
I'll introduce the show and then introduce you, and then you can say hello and stuff like that.
Sick.
Or you can talk for the rest of the episode too if you like.
Oh, yeah. It's very tempting. I might take you up on that.